Hi everyone, my name is Brennan Tran, and before I start this video talking about other African American books and movies, I wanted to talk about what I liked about the Underground Railroad. I did like how realistic the Underground Railroad was, and particularly how it wasn't or Colson Whitehead, and how they weren't afraid to sort of incorporate realistic and just horrifying imagery of antebellum southern slavery at that time. I thought that that was very unique and very important as well to me as the reader, because I not only wanted to read, but I also wanted to learn more about the past. And I also liked how it was cemented in real history as well, which is pretty similar to what I said before. But I did like how it used the Underground Railroad, which is a monumental and pivotal part of African American history. And that's exactly why the next book that I would genuinely consider reading would be The Water Dancer by Ta Nehisi Coates. The reason being because it's pretty similar to the Underground Railroad in that the Underground Railroad is still a pretty important part of that book, and also it's very realistic and it's not afraid to leave out the gruesome details of slavery. But I also like how how the main character of the book has supernatural abilities and is able to teleport other slaves and essentially free them. I think that this is super cool, and although I have limited knowledge since I haven't read it yet and I've only read brief summaries, I think this could play into maybe Black Power and how Black people can break free from oppression by helping one another. So I do think that this supernatural ability is something that makes this book unique from the Underground Railroad, but also makes it still a good read nonetheless, even if it's not 100% realistic. Another interesting thing during my research of The Water Dancer was that the protagonist has I guess, like a photographic memory, but he cannot remember his mother. So I guess the juxtaposition and more so the irony of this detail, I believe, is that it describes how life changing and damaging uh, slavery was to families, because these slaves would be sold in auctions and it would destroy families, and that's why the main protagonist is not able to remember his mother. Switching over to movies, there is 100,000% a movie that stars a black protagonist and that I'm dying to watch. It's Spider Man Beyond the Spider Verse. It's releasing, I believe, summer of 2027, and it stars Miles Morales, a Spider Man who is different from the other Spider Mans because he is an Afro Latino teen, which I think is super unique because it breaks away from the traditional idea of Peter Parker, like a white nerdy teen being um, Spider Man. And in 2018, I believe, I watched the first part of this series. It's called Spider Man Into the Spider Verse. And I just remember that I was in awe when watching the movie. The art style and the animation itself was completely different and something that I wasn't used to, but I loved every single second of it. It represents black art and I guess the black community as a whole, especially in New York. There was black graffiti and there was hip hop, and the main character of course is African American, but I think this is such a not even a unique but such a rich take on Spider-Man. Another cool fact about this upcoming movie, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, is that it's going to be released on the weekend of Juneteenth, which then again just adds to the idea of this movie portraying black power and empowering the black community as a whole.